Hey guys, welcome back to another practice round, this time for Kaho Park. Starting out on hole 1. There's a lot of risk opportunity at Kaho Park, not a whole lot of reward opportunity, so I'm going to be playing these pretty safe coming through. Hole 1 is a backhand, accurate glide sapphire. Slide left, probably don't need to, it's just habit. And the top of the V on the top chevron at the top or the bottom of the distance marker, about a half disc of Anheuser. This should be sliding up here. As long as you miss this first skinny tree, you're sliding up to have a good look at the basket. If you have a hard right to left wind or a headwind, you might go forehand rive, glide roll if it's just right to left wind. If it's a headwind, I'm going to go glide water skip so I can get some ground play there. Going on to KP2, I'm going to try one time to get the fun line up here. If the fun line doesn't work one time, I'm doing nothing but the safe line, safe eagle getting through. If I can get through that, should be a good look. Nope. Got that one tree. It's really safe for me in the one wind, but that wasn't a one wind. Basically, what I'm doing here in the player's tour is taking my paradigm straight down that fairway on the forehand. My goal is to not get caught up in this OB corner and get wide enough to not get in that OB bunker. Wide enough or tight enough works there. Throwing into this green, you take about 100 feet off of the distance that you need. So this is about 200 feet, which means I can go hope into this green. Just get around that tree and just glide there by the basket for what would be eagle if I had gone straight down the gut. Show you one more time, just going straight down the gut without messing around with the risky line that I'm not going to touch in the player's tour anyway. No matter what the wind is, you get down here as far as you can before you get over to the right. Especially with this wind, I'm going to go way wide and give it a little bit of Anheuser just to make sure I'm not getting caught up in this OB area here. That's a bit of a dead skip. It's workable still. It's going to be a tough approach. I need to get wide around here. I can either at this point go through this gap or out wide. I'm thinking I'll probably go out wide here with the glide water skip and do a little bit of hoping. See how that works out. I've got some trees, but the wind is going to keep pushing it there and get close enough to take that eagle. So it's a rive, or this hole is going to be a rive, or a flippy skippy driver like a paradigm off the tee on forehand, and then coming into the green, take about 100 feet of power off for what you're trying to go for with what your disc choice is. Coming in Kaho Park 3, this is an accurate glide sapphire. Like you've seen me before, the V at the top of the top chevron, right at the bottom of the distance marker, and a straight pullback will slide you up to the basket. From there, it's just a matter of wind adjustments. If you got a big tailwind, take it to an accurate roll sapphire or down to an accurate wind musket. If you have a big headwind, I'm still sticking sapphire, just falling a bit shorter. Kaho Park 4, this is a light glide paradigm off the tee. I'm not trying to get super close to that far wall because I'm probably not going to make that throw in anyway. It's kind of the long shot, literally a long shot. Getting in there, you add about 35 feet to this throw, so 235. I want to land about 267, so 270. I think that's the river's going to work out just fine there with the headwind, taking some off to get close to the basket. So don't get aggressive off that tee. You don't want to accidentally skip over that long wall and take a silly stroke there. This is one. There will be some eagles, but most of the time it's going to be a birdie, especially if there's a calm wind. Birdie's going to be just fine there. Moving on to hole 5, I think the best play here is accurate roll musket or sapphire. Slide left, aim just a little bit down so the top of the point of the top chevron is right on the point of the distance marker, and about a half disc of Anheuser on that pullback. Lead you straight up the gut, and the roll is going to stop it here by the basket. I think that's definitely the best play. If you get a headwind, you can take in accurate roll sapphire if you're like me and bag both of them. Or you can get a little bit out the right side. There's some plays there too, so you don't have to worry as much about clearing that first water hazard. Kaho Park 6, I'm taking the glide skip rive, and the V at the top of the middle chevron lines up right about here where that tree in the distance is meeting the hillside. Then it's a matter of adjusting for wind. I'm not going to be taking this shortcut. I feel like that's too much risk. If you hit trees or mess it up, you're dropping OB and reteeing again. So with a 1 wind, I'm adding a little bit of hyzer like this to it, about half disc of hyzer. With that 2 wind, I'll go a little bit extra, about 3/4. And this should turn the corner here. If it gets tight enough, I'm going to have a chance for the throw-in eagle. If it doesn't, I'm going to be taking the birdie. This looks like it has a chance there. 124, it's raised up, so I'm going 134, but the 2 headwind has me going about 110. I'm not feeling super confident here, but I feel like I could give this a run and potentially get that eagle. Now, a little bit short. Honestly, as I get out there, plus 130 feet or so, I get a lot less confident adjusting for the wind. But again, the play here is to get that glide skip arrive around that corner. If you're not confident with the angle, if you're crazy wind, honestly, just go a low sapphire. If your birdie is expected anyway, you get a sapphire out here safe on the fairway, and then you throw up to under the basket. This is the easy birdie play. No reason to risk the eagle if you're not certain with the throw-in, or you know that the wind is a hard right to left wind or headwind. That's going to make your throw-in be further, and then be dealing with all that wind on top of it. Just play a sapphire down and take the safe, easy birdie. Let's see what's going on in hole 7 here. For me, this is a flippy skippy driver, so the paradigm, but the top chevron on where the bush and that tree meet, and a little bit of hyzer on the pullback just so it doesn't get too far to the right. But I want to get that out to the right. And maybe this one's not quite enough to the right, but hopefully stops in time before it gets to this bunker. That did get lucky to stop there. I'm going to do one more with a little bit of anhyzer on it to a little bit out further right. Even further right of that is still okay. You're going to have a good look coming in for the eagle anyway. And the paradigm has a little bit less distance than the Rive, so that bunker doesn't usually come into play in a 1 wind. This 406 plays pretty true to 406, so I'm going to go glide water skip Rive, get it around the outside. I don't really want to land in the bunker if I can avoid it. Just don't want to have the possibility of a silly dead skip or it just sticking on something there and getting stuck in the bunker. You are going to have to make wind adjustments here. If it's a strong headwind, go glide skip Rive. That tailwind, if there's a really strong tailwind, you're going to clear that bunker with the paradigm. Here is going to be an accurate roll musket. My typical line is up high here. With this wind pushing left to right, I'm going to bring that aim downward a little bit so that I can push forward a little bit more before I'm hooking off to the right here. This get into the landing zone somewhat safe is the goal on here. That top chevron or that bottom chevron on the top of the tree gives you a pretty safe pullback on most simple winds. Silly spit outs, they happen. Take more time to adjust and try that to get a bit lower in the Players Tour. Let's try one more, see if we get a calmer wind. I can show you here. And maybe not a calmer wind, but a different adjustment. So this is the bottom chevron on the top of that tree. And for this wind, I want to give it about a little over a disc of hyzer to be fighting against that wind and making sure I'm getting in here safe. Again, in the 1 wind, the safe pullback is going straight, maybe about a half disc of hyzer if you want to be a little bit safer. In the right to left wind, you're giving a little bit of hyzer. In the left to right wind, I prefer to adjust that just by aiming lower rather than just playing with the hyzer too much. Kaho Park 9, I've got a whole video on this one. I believe strongly it's sapphire off the tee is the play. I'm typically aiming in the middle. With this 4 right to left wind, I'm going to get a little bit more room to work and just get through the Mando. Your whole goal here, get through the Mando so you have a chance at the birdie. If you miss the Mando, birdie's very close to out of play. Let's see, I've been playing around with this forehand. Let's see how this works. Yeah. Birdie's very close to out of play, especially in a strong wind if you miss that Mando. And bogey is very much in play. So go one more time here, see if there's a calmer wind, show you more default line. We don't. This is the headwind where I would be thinking Rive and multiplayer to potentially get a bit closer. But in the Players Tour, I really just want to get through that Mando. Because here I'm through the Mando. And it's a little bit further than I'd like to throw in, especially in the 3 headwind. But that 90, I'm going to go up to 100, then take a little bit off and throw it about 70 power. Oh, and that was a little bit too high. Let's bring that back again. going up to 100, a little lower end of that 70 power. Oh, don't know why that's not working there. Oh, my throw-ins have been off a little bit. It's something I need to take to practice mode, practice throwing in the wind a bit more too. But the idea is get through that Mando, have a chance for a throw for the birdie. Hope this helps you guys. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see more of these. Thanks for watching. Stay bogey free.